Real quick, very simple texture drawing on an object. So first of all, let's say, so you have an object, right? And let's say it's a little more complicated than this. Um, so let's make something that resembles a house. E, S, E, and S again. It's probably how we're going to be making mushrooms and all of those for our land. And so, in order to paint a texture on this, you need to tell Blender that we need to flatten it and make it a texture, make it a flat plan so we can draw on it. When we do textures, we need to have the UV map editor. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I need to unwrap this onto the map editor. You select everything, you click Q, and you would click Smart UV Unwrap is for let's see what regular unwrap does, and then we'll see what Smart UV Unwrap does. So it looks like there's a very dark square, and that means it's because all of these squares have been cut up and superposed on top of each other. If I were to take this into GIMP and draw on it, it will replicate this drawing on every single face here. But we don't want that. What we want is to cut in a way that we know where everything is. So let's do that. In order to tell a cut, you select the edges, shift select. I have clicked on the edge select here, shift select again, and there is on the side here on the transform side, which can come up with T, sorry, if you don't have it, and you would go to tools, I think it is, and where is it? The options. No, I always forget which ones these are. Oh, there we go. UV mapping, mark seam. Now these are marked in red, which means when we unwrap this again, these objects have been separated, right? There's still some weirdness happening here. You could go in, grab vertices, and you still move them just like you would move vertices here. G to grab. You can also scale things together, so grab all vertices, and S to scale. The other thing that's good to know is that when you select a face here, it shows you where it is on the map. But as we see, this is not very good. It looks weird. I'm not sure what the roof is, what the bottom is, and how to paint this. So we should make more cuts. So let's tell Blender that we don't want to just cut this block from that block. We're also going to cut a seam here. And imagine you had scissors and you were trying to cut this box up with scissors. So let's see what this cut will make. Mark seam, select all, unwrap, and it looks like I have 4 squares here. Yeah, it's because I told Blender to cut this where the red line is and to flatten it. Okay, so that looks like the bottom is good. I'd like to have this bottom trim to be one object, so I'm just going to add cuts here, here, oops, here, and here, and here. Maybe not. Let's see what that does. This should give me like an extra little ring. So everything, unwrap. Oh, nice. Starting to look pretty good. I could take these and rotate them to make them kind of straight. There we go. The more complex the objects are, the more you're going to have to tweak that by hand. Of course, there was the ability to also do smart unwrap. First, for a small object, it's okay, but for bigger ones, it's you have to tell it how many the angle limits, meaning that if an angle is below this, it'll be an object of its own. So that's how I figured out how to split. But you can have like cool little margins between islands. See what that does. Oh, I cut it all up into separate squares. I don't like that because we're gonna have to, yeah, when we start painting a line from here to here, there's gonna be like a little gap, and the line from the top might not match the line from the bottom. So let's get back to my regular my regular unwrap, and I can also click L to get everything that's connected to that point. Let's scale that a little bit, give it some space. We are good to go. So we have all of the faces onto this UV map. Now we need to make a picture out of this. So we click on New to make a new picture. Call it House Texture Pick. You can make this bigger if you want to have more details. For right now, we're just going to keep it at 1K, which is fine. What color the background is? Black, or I usually like to make it like a light blue-ish, so I know what's what. And UV grid or not, this will show you a grid or no grid. I made an example earlier. Like this is the grid that it's going to show you. So let's just make it just blue, alright. And now we're going to save this image. Oh, sorry, we're going to save the image, sure. The image is just the blue actually. We need to export the UI, the UV layout. Export. So that will take that blue background, or the grid, depending on what we chose, plus the faces, and make an image out of it. Desktop, let's do call it house UV. Okay. Export that. We have it here on my desktop, house UV. Oh, actually the blue didn't show up. Yeah, never mind. Anyways, so now that we have this picture, we would open it in GIMP or what's it called, Photoshop or whatnot. And although it is possible to paint on a Blender object, it is possible to paint on the object itself. It's preferable to use GIMP or image editors because we have access to layers, we can do a bunch of really cool things. So let's I could even do something like find a picture online, which I think we should refrain from doing, but let's say bricks, right? Take this, right? Okay. View image. Okay, I'm gonna take this image and save it as bricks on my desktop. Brick close up, okay, sure. Now I can take this into GIMP. Okay, it's gonna take a while to open a new image of these bricks. Let's scale it down a little bit. Where's my scale tool? Blah 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 blah. All the way this big, why not? Okay, and then once it's done, let's grab it. Where's my grab tool? Right here. Right. It's on a different layer, so that's good. Let's copy it. Get back to my layer here, and paste bricks. Let's do. Let's shrink it some more. Okay, shrink it some more. Okay, just real quick. And let's put one here, and another one here or whatnot. You really have to like put them in the correct places, but you see that these squares will now map onto Blender. Let's also add another layer, so now I can do some paintings with the brush. Let's do a red roof. Okay, let's make this brush a little bit bigger. Sorry. Then you can edit and do cool little Fandang things like let's delete this and delete that. Okay, this I also wanted to make dark or whatnot. So once you've painted this your entire thing that you, the entire picture, blah, 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 let's do another color, black, and that. Let's see what happens when we go back to Blender. So we take this. There are multiple layers. I'm going to just save a PNG, export. Sorry, export as a PNG. House. Now it's called a UV map. Export. Alright, now I have my picture right here. Let's go back into Blender. That's this guy. And we're going to say image open. It's very important that you do not do any more work on the object, because that'll change the mapping. Open image, and it's my house UV map. Here it is. And if I were to go onto texture view, here is my object texture the way I wanted it. You also have the ability, like I said, once you have a texture that is on the object, you can go to texture paint. Oh no, actually, let's not even go to texture paint yet. That's another. You have to make this the active texture. Let's not even go there because it's purple now because there's no mapping between this and the object. I can send you some tutorials on how to do that, but really it's not a good idea, because it's okay if you want to add some shadows, like as you're looking at it, you can like paint on it, but it's better to use GIMP or Photoshop. Let's save this now into Unity, and we're almost done. Save as. Let's just put it right on house object. There, we're going to need two files, an object and the texture, and I'll show you how to map them. It's very easy. Let's go to Unity. Just right here, my little house just popped up. I can put it anywhere. Where is my texture? Well, I can use the same picture, drop it probably in a textures folder, and all you gotta do is drop the texture on the on your thing, and it's pretty much done. Also, Unity has the ability to make to create normals. So let's create a double out of this one, and this will be my normals, and you'll see what normals does. Normals kind of gives you like a 3D bump effect. So alright, I click on normals, and instead of texture I want a normal map. I think it's going to create an extra one. It's sharp, repeat, okay, apply, and I have a normal map. Now I can go on to this object. There we go. Now I can make this texture not standard, but let's see. Which is the one that has normals added to it? Let's see. I know it's. Oh. It's one of these. As an effects, no GUI, no mobile, natural. Particle, skybox, sprites, transparent, legacy shaders. Bump diffused. Basically, I'm looking for the one that has okay, not the light map. Is it the bump diffused? Basically, there's one. Aha! Bump diffuse gives you an extra slot for an extra map, for an extra texture, and there we go. Once I've done that, I don't think you saw the so it gives you like a little. It looks almost 3D. Like if you have any sort of any contrast, will give you a 3D looking. You see, like this 3D looking bricks. You see, because there's high contrast in the bricks. If you were to draw the entire thing yourself, you would be in GIMP and you would add like another layer to make whatever shape you draw very contrasty. So you want like the inside to be like really light red and the outside to be dark red, and that will give you like these ridges will look like veins because they'll pop out. So that's texturing. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I'm going to show you a little bit of animation, and then I'm going to do a full character from scratch. Thank you for watching.